Good afternoon everyone, it's Wednesday the 24th of August. Welcome to another one of Alan's Angling Adventures, and today I'm at Streatham at the River Adur for a second session after a carp. I thought after the last session I had, I wanted one more, just one more, and see how we get on before I have to go back to work. Those of you that watch my videos will know that on the last session, really enjoyed that 12-pound carp at Mockbridge. That was brilliant, that was. So we'll see how we get on today. We've also got a chance today of a nice chub and some nice bream. There's some big chub up here and some big bream as well. It's very much tidal up here. Tide wise it's coming up now, and it's going to be high tide roughly around 1 o'clock-ish. In fact, it's 20 past 12 now and it seems to have slowed right down. So although it's still coming up, I don't think it's going to come up a great deal more. So I'm going to get out there in a minute. I've got my rods all set up, ready to go. Basically I've got the same two rods as last time, exactly the same bait, exactly the same setup, halibut pellets and sweet corn. The only bad thing today is that I haven't got my camera tripod. I left it at home. Couldn't believe it when I undone my rod bag, and because I keep it in my rod bag, and found I ain't brought my camera tripod with me. So what I've had to do, I've had to set my camera up, or just sit it on top of this bucket on top, and the bucket's on top of my rod bag, on top of my luggage bag. So anyway, it's about 2 feet off the ground, and that's the best I can do with it. So I'm hoping that, you know, it'll film all right. So if it doesn't, you know why. So hopefully you can, and you'll be able to. What I'll do, I'll leave it here, and I'll be fishing down there, so you should still be able to see if anything happens anyway. And hopefully we can catch something. I'm really excited again. I think we've got a good chance again today. As I say, it's 20 past 12. I'm going to stay here till early evening. I might stay here later. I've got my torch with me if I need it. And this is the closest to where I fish to my home. It takes you about an hour to ride here, so it's not as bad as some of the other places I go to, not as far. So we'll see how we get on. Yeah, I think that's about it really. I'm going to have a cup of tea and then I'm going to start fishing. So I'll get back to you throughout the afternoon. I won't keep the camera on, as I always say, for too long because of the batteries. So we're going to be here till early evening. You know, it's a lot of filming to be done. Right, okay, I'm going to have a cup of tea now and I'll get back to you a bit later when I'm fishing. It's unbelievable really, because I fished this particular swim this time last summer for a carp, and it was absolutely, well, way over its banks. And looking back, maybe I shouldn't have attempted it really, but there you go, you learn, don't you? Here's a shot of what it looked like this time last year. Just give you a closer shot of where I'm going to be fishing. Just down here, just in the mouth. It's awkward to tell because the water's up so high and it's still coming up, which I'm going to have to move back in a minute. I hope it ain't going to come up much further than this, otherwise I'm going to struggle a bit. That's where I'm going to be fishing here. As I speak, the fish has just jumped. Right, I think I'm going to get my gear out there. Just here and out there by the mouth. Right, let's get cracking. And here's the same swim a year on. It was way over its bank this time last year with all the floods. Unbelievable really. Anyway, I've got my two rods out. I've got one rod down there on with about 8 grains of sweet corn on a hair rig, and I've got the other rod, this nearest one here, over there on the corner of those reeds. There's a bit of slack over there with a krill boilie and a krill pop-up. Tide's reached its peak now. It's stabilised out there now, and I think it'll start dropping soon. I feel quite hopeful actually that we can get something. Right, I'm going to switch off and I'll get back to you and update you throughout the afternoon. Well, I've been fishing for about 25 minutes. Just had a brainwave. I brought my chair with me today. I just thought I can actually stand the bucket on the chair and that'll raise the camera up about 2.5, probably 3 feet off the ground, so at least you'll be able to see it a bit better. It's a shame really, I just can't believe how I left that at home. I'm quite rigorous when I sort my stuff out, you know, I go through it all and I always think to myself, right, don't leave that behind. I just couldn't believe it when I opened up my rod bag, because it's quite big, it's quite chunky, it's not something that you'd miss. But there you go. Still, we'll get by without it today anyway. It's 5 to 1 now. That sun is hot, I must admit. I'm going to leave these 2 rods out there for quite some time before I bring them in. As I say, the tide's at the top now. It's not going to come up anymore. Yeah, I enjoyed that last session. Really enjoyed that, catching that carp. But I really don't know how we're going to get on here today. But as I say, this is very much tidal, and it's very different to look at as well. It's got quite a colour. In fact, it's quite coloured. It's quite coloured today, whereas at Mock Bridge it was more on the clear side. But I've spoken to 1 or 2 anglers that fish here for carp, and sweet corn is one of the main baits apparently for up here. So we'll see how we get on. So I've got my torch with me. I might fish into dark, I don't know yet. I might fish to about 7ish. I want to make the most of it before I go back to work next week. Seen some small fish topping, but apart from 1 or 2 when I first set up here, when I first got here, I haven't seen any signs of any bigger stuff at the moment. Well, it's 2:05 now. I've been fishing for roughly around an hour and a half. Nothing yet. I had 1 touch on the left hand rod. It was just a knock. Could have been a line bite. But apart from that, nothing yet. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting anything just yet. As like last time, you know, I think the chances increase more towards the evening time, really. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. I've still got a boilie and a pop up on the left hand rod and a string of corn on the right hand rod. I must admit, my track record on this particular stretch, whatever way I fish, isn't great, I must admit. A few times I have fished here at Streatham, I do tend to struggle a bit, but you've got to try and fish these faster flowing stretches of the river, especially when you know there's some nice fish to be had up here. Of course, when the tide comes up, the salt water is being pushed further up the river, which is obviously pushing the fish further up the river. And once the tide starts coming back down again, and you've got the salt water flowing back out to sea, the fish start coming back down again. Well, it's nearly 2:30, still nothing at the moment. I don't know, as I say, I don't know how this is going to come out balanced on this bucket and my chair, but I'll do the best I can with it. As you see, the tide's on its way down now, and it's quite a fast flowing stretch of river, this. It really is. You know, you need I've got 2-ounce leads on there, which are just about holding bottom, but I have got the nearest rod in the slack closer in. I've been told by someone that that clump of reeds out there is a good place to cast to. I might try a bit nearer those reeds. At the moment I've got the left hand rod over there, right over the far side there, because there is a little bit of slack over there. Wow, I've got a herd of cows coming right towards me now. I've moved all my gear down here. I've moved all my stuff down here. I just hope I'm not going to move. I just hope they don't take any notice of me. They may not, I don't know. Still, we'll see. I just had a bite on the right hand rod here. I had one on there, it goes again. It's taps. I had one on there about 25 minutes ago. I had a bite. It looked very much like a breamy type bite. When I brought it in, all of the 8 grains of corn on there have been stripped right off. At least I know there's fish down there. That's on this rod here, on this rod close in the slack area. Well, it's 3:10 and we'll have a bite to eat in a minute. This is the scene I've got. Lucky enough, they seem to be only slightly interested. I don't think they're going through that gate up there, thank goodness. It's just the way they stand there though, looking at you. It can, as I say, it can be a bit intimidating, but what can you do when you've got all your gear set up down here and that? You can't move it all. You can't, you know. You just have to hope that they don't take any notice of it. Because me against that lot, I'd have no chance at all. As for the fishing, nothing yet. I've got a couple of bites on the right hand rod, look breamy type bites, but nothing else apart from that at the moment. As I say, it's 3:10 now. I'm going to have something to eat. Once all those cows have gone through that gate, I will. And then I'll get back to you and update you on what's going on. Taps on the right hand rod. They look more like breamy bites. I was just about to sit down and have something to eat. As I said last time, every time I do that, thankfully all the cows have, all bar 1 or 2, have gone through now, so it shouldn't be a bother. That's done it again. Might be on there, I'm not sure. It's quite a violent pull. Well, quite. Every time I sit down, it's quite violent. It went like that. Could be roach even, I don't know. Because I've got sweet corn on that one. Right, time wise it's 3:10. I haven't had nothing yet. I do apologise for the camera angles on this video. I say there's not a lot I can do about it without my tripod. It is a blooming nuisance. I'm going to have a cup of tea now. I've just rebaited and cast out again. I'm getting plenty of knocks on the sweet corn, but I believe they're small fish. I haven't been able to hook anything yet on it. There's a lot of taps and knocks on it. I'm getting them now, but nothing on the left hand rod, which has got a boilie on it and a pop up. Well, I suppose that's the nature of this sort of fishing, isn't it? You know, it's you just sit and wait really. As I say, as like my last session, 2 bites, 2 fish. I don't know if the camera's picking me up or not. Let's get down a bit. yeah, as I say, on the last session, 2 bites and 2 fish, and that was it. But 2 nice fish as well. So I think if we do catch something, I think, you know, it will be worth it, or hopefully it will be. It's a shame we don't have barbel in this river. But at least we've got carp. Not loads of them, but they certainly are in here. It's just gone 10 to 4 now. I can stay here till whenever. Where's my milk? I can stay here till whenever. But nothing, yeah, I suppose we've been fishing for what, 12, 1, 2, 3, not far short of 3.5 hours. And nothing yet. So I'm on the side of the bank where the sun is right overhead, and I'm pretty sure it's not on this shot, but earlier on in the session the sun would have been shining in the camera, and I really ain't too sure how this video is going to come out, but I'll just do my best with it. I won't do that again though. I won't leave that at home again. I'll always make doubly sure that I've got my camera tripod with me. Because when I first started doing these videos, as you can see if you watch the earlier ones, it's all very amateurly done, where I'm holding the camera and it's it's moving about all over the place. It wasn't until I got a tripod that what a brilliant piece of kit that was as well. It only cost me 20 quid, and it's a brilliant tripod, tough as old boots and all it is. Really is. Yeah, the sounds that you can hear of running water is I'll show it to you in a minute. It's an outfall down there, and I've been told that at, like, well, about the tide it is now, if you feed a load of sweet corn down here, I'll show you in a minute. I've been told that you can actually see the carp coming up and taking it. In fact, I'll have a little look. I'll give you a shot of what I mean. There we have a look, an outfall down there. There's no sign of any carp down there, not yet. I've been told that if you feed a load of corn down here, an angler told me, that you actually see the carp coming up and feeding. Right, what I've decided to do, I'm going to move round to the other side, just the other side of the gate, of the fence, and fish that side, because the tide's going out. It's going from right to left. I'm going to cast down this side here. I'll show you. I'm going round there, just through that gate there, just down that side, and then I'm going to set my rods up down there. I'm going to cast out down this way and see if we can get anything out that side. So I'll catch up with you in a moment. I'm now fishing the opposite side of the outfall. And see how we get on here. Same procedure. String of corn on one rod, on the right hand rod, and the boilie and the prop up on the left hand rod. Krill boilies on the left hand rod. Should be better for the sun as well, because the sun's up there now, so you shouldn't have the sun shining in the camera. Time wise it's about 8 minutes to 5, so I've still got a few hours fishing left, to try and see if I can stop this from being the first blank of this season. I must say, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't had anything at all up to now. I thought I might have had a bream or something. Maybe when that sun starts to sink, you might get a bit of action. I've always fancied using the feeder here and a float as well, which I haven't done yet. Not in this particular peg. Well, it's nearly 5:25 now. Nothing to speak about at all. No proper bites, just some taps on one rod on the sweet corn. Still plenty of time to save the day. I actually did feel quite confident today, to be honest. I thought I might have got something, but and I still might. Your cows are coming back now. And the sheep. No, not a sniff at the moment. I haven't had a single bite on boilie in, well, 1 3/4 sessions. Never had a sniff on it last time, and haven't had nothing on it this time so far. Yeah, this particular stretch of river is completely different in the way it looks to where I was fishing last time at Mockbridge. There the water was clearer, a lot clearer, and it was low as well. Here it's very quite coloured actually. It's got quite a colour to it. And I really thought we was going to fish quite well today. I thought we might have had something. I say, time wise it's coming up to 20 to 6. I haven't got a very good record on this stretch. Not that I've fished it many times, but when I have, I haven't done particularly well, to be honest. I think the best I've done was when I fished at New Inn, which is further up. When I had some bits and pieces up there, some roach and perch, etc. I've only fished Streatham 2 or 3 times, and I think I've blanked. I think if I blanked today, I think I would have blanked 3 out of 3 times of fishing here, and yet I know there's some nice fish in here. There really is. You've still got a chance. But even the taps on the sweet corn have stopped now. And what I'm doing, I'm casting the right hand rod over there into the shadow of those bushes, of those reeds. That's where I've got that one, and this one here is just more or less to the left hand side over this side on corn, with corn on there. It's 20 past 6 now. Just had a recast out there again. I've put a fresh boilie on. I'm now using a monster crab, 18mm monster crab boilie with a 6mm monster crab top up on there now on this rod, and still got corn on the left hand rod. I can't believe how quiet it is, there's nothing happening. Oh well, you get sessions like this, don't you? Especially when if you're going after carp. I bet if I'd used a waggler or stick float, or maybe even a feeder down there, I would have caught. But that's not what I'm after today. I am after a carp. So I thought it might be a bit too much to ask to get one second session running. I normally have a couple of 1 or 2 carp sessions in the summer months when I'm not at work, and I can, because the stuff I bring up here is heavier than the stuff I normally bring up. And when you've been at work all week, you don't want to be carrying too much stuff on your bike if you can help it. I mean, to be honest, I take enough now. Even on a normal day's fishing, float fishing, I still take a load of stuff with me. I think we'll give it till 7 o'clock, and we'll assess the situation from there and see what I think. I might pack up at 7. I don't know yet. But I have enjoyed it. I always enjoy it, even when I don't catch. I enjoy it. But I must admit, when you do catch, it's 100 times better, isn't it? Well, it's bang on 6 o'clock now, and still absolutely nothing. It really is beginning to look like I'm not going to get anything today. I'm probably going to give it till 7, so I've got another hour to save the day. There's nothing happening, nothing at all, not even any taps, nothing. As I said earlier, my next session will probably be in a few 2 or 3 weeks' time. Well, as I speak now, there's a knock on the right hand side rod. Just a little knock. Nothing positive though. Yeah, in a 2 or 3 weeks' time, probably be a waggler session. Don't know where yet. I've got to try some of these other new places I haven't fished yet. Which I certainly look forward to. Say Chest Stream again, and certainly the Honeybridge Stream in the autumn and winter for chub. There's 1 or 2 other places that I'm going to be trying for chub as well. In fact, more than 1 or 2 places. There's 3 or 4 places to have a go. And for some reason, every time I bring the rod with the corn on in, the corn's all gone off the hook, and yet I've got one of these special corn stops that you put in to stop the corn from coming off the hook, and it's still coming off the hair rig. Show you what I'm using. They're normally pretty good. These, I think especially for sweet corn, and they're normally pretty good, but for some reason every time I bring it in I mean, you're talking about 8 to 10 grains of corn, and it's always off the hair egg when I bring it in. Yeah, that wasn't happening the other day when I was fishing, so I don't know what it is that's causing that. I know this can be a tough stretch sometimes. You know, when you look at some of the match results in the past. There we go. Oh, left hand rod, that's the first bite I've had for a long time. Again, they're tops. But you never know, it might lead to something. Yeah, as I say, this can be a tough stretch to fish. Again though, I haven't seen anyone. I think I've seen 1 or 2 people walking the bank with their dog, but that's about it. I haven't seen no one else, certainly no other angler. Certainly is rattling away. This rod here, a lot of taps on there. Probably won't do it now. That's probably what they are. Just pecking away at the corn. Yeah. I might have a stick float session on the next one. Don't know yet, we'll see. Beautiful evening though, absolutely beautiful. Loads of sheep up there. I'll give you a shot at it. All coming over here, look, inquisitive creatures. Don't do you any harm though. They're sort of interested in what you're doing. I think half the time they're not, you know, won't harm you at all. They're more frightened of you than you are of them really. Yes, a beautiful evening, beautiful August evening on the River Adur at Streatham. No fish to report, but very nice. Just the sound of that running water. 7:05 now. I've got a boilie on both rods out there now. I'm going to give it another 10-15 minutes, and now I think I'm going to pack up. I know I'm probably packing up just at the wrong time really, to be honest. I had a couple of taps just now on the boilie, but it was just a couple of taps. It could have been line bites, something swimming across the line, I don't know. So I am surprised, quite surprised actually, that I haven't had anything today. I did feel that I would catch something, even if it was a bream or something. Yeah, I am surprised. I am really surprised that, you know, that I haven't had a bream or something. I thought I would have done, but it's not to be. I say this. I know this stretch can be tough sometimes, but there are some big fish in here. There's some big carp in here on this actual stretch. Big chub, you know, and also some nice bream as well. But not today. I certainly will give this a go, this actual swim a go, on the waggler, on the stick float and the feeder. I will certainly have a go. I think it does look good for that. A lot of small stuff topping around, but not really seen, apart from when I first come here earlier on, saw one or two decent sized fish jumping, but there hasn't really been much jumping since at all. I think if I was watching this video now, I'd be screaming, don't go, you know, because I really am entering the period now where things could start to happen. But as I've been here since 12:30, it's 7:25 now. I've got to pack up, cycle home. I know the last time when I fished it last year, I fished just into dark, but I think I'm gonna call it a day. I just don't feel that I'm gonna catch anything, even if I stay here. Well, it's 7:30 now. I'm gonna pack up now. I haven't caught nothing, which is a real shame. I did expect to catch at least a bream today, but unfortunately that hasn't happened. So it's a blank on a stretch of river that I do notoriously struggle on. I have struggled here before, but never mind. It's as I said to you before, some sessions you catch, some sessions you don't, and today is one where I haven't caught. So no fish to show you, I'm afraid, today, but I'll be out again in a couple of weeks time, 2 or 3 weeks time. I'm back to work next week, so the next session will probably be a waggler session. Don't know where yet on the river, but it'll be somewhere on the river. Probably be a waggler session, and I look forward to that. I've enjoyed it today, but it's always better when you catch, isn't it? Anyway, enjoy your own angling, and thank you very much for subscribing to my fishing channel. Very much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.